of the NBA. On September 11th, our nation suffered a terrible tragedy. But the American people are strong, and we're united. We love our freedom, and we will prevail. We prove that every time we show up in an NBA game. We are determined to live our lives, and sports is an important part of our national life. Our athletes entertain us, but they can also teach us about teamwork and perseverance, about striving for excellence and the value of hard work. I thank the NBA for its support of this nation. I wish all the teams and all the players the best of luck and the best of success. May God bless you, and may God bless America.
And now, let's meet the entire rosters of both teams, beginning with the visiting Washington Wizards. The head coach of the Wizards is Doug Collins. The Washington assistant coaches are Brian James, Larry Drew, and John Bach. The reserves for the Washington Wizards: a guard, 6'6", in his second year from Fresno State, number 4, Courtney Alexander. A center, 6'11", in his first NBA season from Glenn Academy in Brunswick, Georgia, not dressing tonight, Kwame Brown. A center, 7 feet, in his first NBA season from North Carolina, on the injured list, Brendan Haywood. A forward, 6'8", in his 9th season from Murray State, number 54, Popeye Jones. A guard, 6 foot, in his 4th NBA season from Nebraska, number 10, Tyronn Lue. A forward, 6'6", in his 4th season from UNLV, number 8, Tyrone Nesby. A guard, 6'6", in his first NBA season from DePaul, number 21, Bobby Simmons. A center, 6'10", in his first NBA season from Syracuse, number 36, Eitan Thomas. And now, the starting lineup for the Washington Wizards. At a guard, 6'7", in his 3rd season from Connecticut, number 32, Richard Hamilton. At the other guard, 6 foot from Clemson, in his 9th NBA season, number 12, Chris Whitney. At center, 6'9", in his 4th season from Georgetown, number 55, Jahidi White. At a forward, 6'11", in his 10th season from Duke, number 44, Christian Laettner. And at the other forward, 6'6", in his 14th NBA season from North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan. Welcome your 2001-2002 Atlanta Hawks. The head coach of the Atlanta Hawks is Lon Kruger. The Hawks assistant coaches are Gar Hurd, Eric Musselman, and Rick Mahorn. And here are your Hawks reserves. A forward, 6'10", in his 3rd season from Old Dominion, number 6, Cal Baldler. A forward, 6'9", in his 5th season from Marquette, number 4, Chris Crawford. A forward, 6'9", in his 7th season from Indiana, on the injured list, Alan Henderson. A forward, 6'9", in his 2nd season from Cincinnati, number 1, DeMar Johnson. A forward, 6'11", in his 9th season from Croatia, number 7, Toni Kukoc. A center, 6'10", in his 4th season from Kentucky, number 2, Nazi Mohammed. A forward, 6'10", in his 2nd season from Utah, number 13, Hanno Metala. And a guard, 6'2", in his 5th NBA season from Kansas, number 11, Jacques Vaughn. And now the starting lineup for your Atlanta Hawks. A guard, 6'2", in his 3rd season from Arizona, number 31, Jason Terry. A guard, 6'5", in his 5th season from Delaware State, number 15, Emmanuel Davis. A center, 6'10", in his 7th NBA season from Wyoming, number 42, Theo Ratliff. guard, 6'5", in his third season from Georgia Tech, number 5, Dion Glover. And the forward, 6'9", in his sixth NBA season from California, number 3, Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2001-2002 Atlanta Hawks.
Got to get easy baskets in this league, and the half-court offense Washington is not very good at, so they got to find ways to score.
Jason Terry working on Hamilton. Jason Terry has put in 2 straight.
Well, he knows Hamilton's not a great defender, and Jason can get a jump shot on Hamilton anytime he wants, but, you know, Jason, that's why you don't want to give guys easy baskets. Sharif gets a dunk, and Terry gets a steal in transition.
Michael Jordan has hit 2 in a row to start the game.
He's a pretty good half-court basketball player.
He has shown his skills before he arrived. Ratliff on top.
You know, one thing that wasn't pointed out, Kevin, the other night in New York was Michael hadn't practiced for 3 days. He's coming back from a bad knee, had fluid on his knee, in spite of all that other stuff he did public relations-wise in New York City.
Jordan has the steal. There's a foul at the other end on Emmanuel Davis, as Hamilton tried to take it the other way. Jordan looks fresher and far more alert tonight than he did on Tuesday.
Well, and as I said earlier, Jordan did a lot of things to help other people when he played the first game in New York. Now I think he's a little bit more focused. A lot of the things that he did were necessary and were good to do, but his hands are so quick, as well as the fact that he knows how to play defense.
Well, Craig Sager told us on Tuesday night what Jordan did. He was pounding the gavel at the stock exchange that afternoon, and then the night before that opener Monday, he was at Ground Zero at the World Trade Center, and so there was a lot on his mind. He and his wife Juanita were there, and he was touched, very moved, was the report we got from people that were around that particular visit. So you're right, John. There was a lot on his mind.
I think one of the things, Kevin, those things are emotionally stressful to anybody who sees those things, too. And sometimes we expect Michael to be robotic because of the standard which he set for himself.
Inside, Jahidi White draws a personal foul, his first tonight for the Wizards. 9:21 to play. Washington has started 3 of 4, with Jordan going 2 of 2. As you take a look at first-year head coach Doug Collins, he coached Michael as a rookie in Chicago. Later on, he was a head coach for the Detroit Pistons. Jason Terry, who played college ball at Arizona, to Emmanuel Davis, who played last year with Seattle, and the rebound by Jordan, his first tonight.
But that's the thing that I want to see from Michael. If he's doing those little extra things, we know he can play offense, but you know his legs are back when you see him rebound and defend.
Nice pass by Jordan inside to Christian Laettner, and a foul called on Atlanta.
I love the movement by Christian Laettner right there. He saw Michael. He decided not to stand in space on the weak side, but did a nice job of cutting to the basket. Looked like he got the foul on Theo, but didn't get the call.
All right, did not get the call. A shot by Hamilton, who hit his first. Rebound by Christian Laettner.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to get involved in the game. Laettner is a very talented person, as well as doing what he did offensively. This team needs him to rebound.
Here's Dion Glover. Jordan guarding him. And a screen was set. Ball jarred free. Another Atlanta turnover. They now have 2 as Hamilton works into a thicket of Hawk players at the other end of the floor. Chris Whitney, who was red hot in New York, missing his first 3 tonight.
He rushed that shot a little bit. He was anxious to get a shot off. Hasn't got to touch the ball yet in the half-court offense, and thought he rushed it. He was making every one of those in New York.
There was a knee and a foul, and a second foul at that for Doug Collins' starting center, Jahidi White.
You know, Jahidi, you want to be physical. He's got a lot of strength and advantage over Theo, but you can't get stupid fouls. You know, they just don't have the depth. With Kwame Brown on the injured list and Brendan Haywood on the injured list right now, or on the bench anyway in street clothes, they just don't have enough fouls to give at that position. Those are silly fouls.
He can't afford to get in foul trouble if they were well. You know he can if they can. But Jahidi believes he has 1 excuse me and 5 fouls.
Well, John, if anybody knows Jahidi, it's you. You coached him at Georgetown, as Chris Whitney just picked up a foul guarding Emmanuel Davis. So Tyrone Nesby comes in. He is 4 years out of UNLV. The guy on the right there is Brendan Haywood. He is out of North Carolina, and the coaches are raving about his performance on the injured list, now off in about a week. And then Kwame Brown is the 19-year-old high school player, the #1 overall pick in the draft, and he twisted an ankle the other night at the Garden as he was coming down on a rebound, but he had, what, 3 blocks and 3 rebounds in very limited minutes.
A lot of people talk about the Twin Towers that Chicago's trying to develop there with the 2 young first-round picks. I like these guys better. I think Kwame Brown and Brendan Haywood, we'll see 3 or 4 years down the road who got the better Twin Towers.
Jason Terry has 6 of Atlanta's 8 points. Here comes Chris Whitney. He had a good game the other night of 18 points against the Knicks. Shot clock at 9. Leighton finds Nesby for 3.
And we see right now Washington's got a little bit more movement. They got Christian Laettner at center, who will guard Ratliff, and Tyrone Nesby, who's a small forward, will try to defend Sharif and take away his quickness and try to make Sharif more of a post-up player versus a slasher.
Here's Jason Terry, who tried to carve his way inside, and a foul called on the Washington Wizards, who was double-teamed on the play. Nesby will pick up his first as you take a look at Rip Hamilton, who played for the NCAA champion UConn Huskies back in '99.
Nesby did a great job the other night in New York. Hit some big shots, and Collins put him in the game and couldn't take him out because he was so good.
Jason Terry, meanwhile, has put in 8, and he has not missed from the floor. 3 of 3. And a couple free throws. Jordan with Davis on it. The drive. Michael Jordan inside. Can't get it to go. Laettner back to Michael for 2.
And that's what we said in New York. You know, the one test of Michael, which Michael, I mean, he hasn't shown us the ability to finish at the basket like he did. He doesn't have to dunk it, but just try to get to the free throw line and put pressure on that defense. And his legs are quite not there with that fluid being drained from his knee right before the game.
But already a different looking Jordan tonight.
Well, it's a different looking Jordan. He's very much more energetic. You see on this play that he's going to the basket. I think last year, the year before, had he been playing regularly, you would have said duck.
Well, now Washington has got some foul problems with big people inside. Tyrone Nesby just picked up his 2nd personal foul. Jahidi White is on the bench with 2. And we're just 7:05 remaining in the first quarter.
And, you know, that is Atlanta's strategy, to try to make Michael a driver. They have the best shot blocker in basketball, and Theo Ratliff there to goaltend and make Michael go to the basket. We've seen him shoot that medium-range jump shot for the last 3 or 4 years of his career in Chicago. So that's the strength. Take that away from him and make him go to Theo.
Danny, it's hard to believe, but on Tuesday night, you said that at about this time of the first quarter, Jordan looked winded as Popeye Jones checks in. Jordan looked tired. What do you think now after the first 5 minutes or so of this first quarter?
I still think it. I mean, he's not in anywhere the kind of condition that he was when I played against him. I can tell you that. I mean, he never seemed to tire and got stronger as the game went along. But, you know, they're going to try to get him out early in the first quarter like they do John Stockton in Utah if they can stay close.
Laettner trying to be more active tonight, and sure enough, he has now hit 2 of his first 4 shots for 4 points.
I love the way Laettner's playing right now.
I do too, and he should be playing that way because he has the skills. The worst thing Laettner ever did is showed folks that he could do something. And a lot of times you hope that young players will be able to do, but we know that he can play. So now he's got to get out and do exactly what he's doing now. I tell you, I don't think it's a good idea in letting Jordan go to the basket because I tell you what, if he can make the shot at the end of it, he certainly passes well enough to get the ball to people for easy shots.
So Laettner picks up a foul, and at the free throw line, Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Well, Michael always grabs the bottom of his pants and stretches those long shorts all the way down below his knees, but he's doing it a lot, Coach. He's sweating hard, and he looks like he's breathing hard and chewing that gum a lot faster than normal.
I think playing on that Wizards team, anybody of Michael's ability will be sweating hard.
That's exactly right.
I don't think that's an indication. And that might even be an understatement.
Washington is led by as many as 6. Jordan again flying inside, counted for 2 on the goaltend, and he was fouled on the play. So Michael will go to the free throw line.
Well, this is their strategy, except not to let him go baseline, but the Theo comes over, or that's Rahim comes over. Looks like he got it on the way up. That might have been a Michael Jordan call that you think he earns, Coach. Oh, that's smothered chicken right there.
Oh, what does smothered chicken mean? Goaltending?
No, that's a block.
Jordan completes the 3-point play. MJ 4 of 5 for the game, 9 points, and he leads all scores in the contest and gives the Wizards their biggest lead tonight of 7. Terry to Ratliff.
This is what the Wizards have to be able to do, is establish some kind of inside defense also. Particularly with the Twin Towers sitting on the bench right now.
Jordan for 2. Rebound Glover, torn away by Jones. Saved by Wood. Oh, and to Michael Jordan.
I think Michael likes that strategy, funneling him towards the basket also.
I thought Michael took a bad shot transition. Chris Whitney was open, should have passed it. But Whitney, very unselfish, found Michael for the easy dunk. And that's those stats we're keeping. I hope we're keeping them in the truck tonight. Air Jordan.
And Jordan gets a standing O as he goes to the sideline for Washington. So make it be known, at 6:03 in the first quarter of his second game, Michael Jordan throws down his first dunk.
Children with the legacy of enduring hope and fellowship that unites all Americans. Michael Jordan has united his Wizards team in this game. MJ with 11 points and playing well. He's electrified the fans and has the Wizards out on top 22-15. MJ against Terry. Pulls up to Jay. A little bit short. And saved in by Atlanta. Tony Kukoc with the basketball in the contest for Atlanta. We seem a bit confused. Nazr Mohammed also in the game. Kukoc now into the corner. Air ball. And 24-second violation, very fortunate for Washington.
Absolutely. That time Laettner came over to help, but Jordan got back to his man. That's when you have to turn around and find the open man, which Mohammed was wide open underneath.
Wizards have seen Jahidi White and Cairo Nesby each pick up 2 personal fouls, so they've had to take a seat. Here's Hamilton, guarded by Kukoc. Richard pulls up for the jumper, in and out. Emmanuel Davis. Hawk squad went 25 and 57 last year. The 25 victories, their poorest output in franchise history is Kukoc. It's the second straight season that Atlanta missed the playoffs.
Familiar faces here.
Jordan lost the ball momentarily. And now 10 to shoot. Popeye Jones takes a jumper. That's in and out. Whistle.
Step on the line.
He must have. Out of bounds. So Jordan reunited with Kukoc.
Yeah, well, yeah, you didn't think that they were going to stay matched up. Kukoc, not really known to be a defensive specialist.
Hamilton again, nice move, going up strong. Contact, no call, and the Wizards bench is livid. Doug Collins is beside himself.
Washington foul number 54. Washington is over the limit.
Doug Collins looks at Tom Washington and says, why don't you blow your whistle?
Well, definitely contact there. It couldn't be a charge because Shareef was in that no charge zone. But a lot of contact underneath the basket.
Nazr Mohammed on the line, 1 plus the penalty.
In the meantime, Nazr Mohammed goes to the line, 1 plus the penalty in his 4th year from Kentucky. He did not score against Houston. He had no rebounds. He had 3 steals in 14 minutes of play. This was his first free throw of the season.
Kind of an interesting line for a big man. No rebounds, no points, but 3 steals.
Yeah, I was puzzled when I looked at that and thought, wow, that's some production from a guy at 6'10". And perhaps the reason he only played 14 minutes.
That's a good reason.
19,445 folks here in attendance. The last time that Michael Jordan played in Atlanta was the year of his retirement. Whitney goes all the way, draws the foul,
shot,
and it counts.
Boy, that was some good concentration because he received the contact just as he was picking that ball up. And I think he realized he had a chance to maybe get a 3-point play. There's the push there. He picks the ball up. Maintains focus of that basket. Nice shot, Chris.
Last year, Witt had an 89% free throw average. He missed just 12 all season long. And I was saying Michael's ability to draw a crowd, how about that? Here in his final game, which was at the Georgia Dome on March 27th, 1998, there were 62,000 plus people in attendance to see that game. Hamilton scoops up the errant dribble. Rich goes all the way.
They're going to count that.
And he'll go to the line.
Well, a poor decision by Jason Terry, because you saw Rip had already picked up the ball, but he was just too enticed to reach in and try and get a piece of it. Commits the foul. Another turnover there. Watch Hamilton pick the ball up, and Jason really never had a track on the ball at all. Just reaches in.
Chris Crawford coming into the lineup to replace Jason Terry, who's picked up his second personal foul. Hamilton makes the first. Also an excellent free throw shooter. And gets the second. 87% shooter last year. And we get to see Tyronn Lue for the first time in a Wizards uniform in a regular season game. He did not play against the Knicks. He's the young man who played for the Lakers last year. Wizards really like him. He is blazing fast. What a move. Oh, slam, no good. And that's got to be offensive basket interference. And if not, it's got to be a technical foul. One of the two.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a technical foul. He had to hold on to the rim because somebody was underneath him. But I think they will just call that offensive interference and give the ball to the Wizards.
Timeout on the floor with 2:52 to go.
They're up by 5 with him gone, but a jump shot right there is put in by newly instated Hanno Metsola out of Utah.
That's one of the weaknesses of the Wizards also, Kevin, that you've got to be able to box out, hold him to one shot. You can't give him 2 shots.
Jordan feed inside for Laettner, who was unsuspecting of the pass. And a turnover, the 5th tonight by Washington, up by 3. Jordan, Lue, Alexander, Laettner, and Popeye Jones, the Washington 5.
Michael got a little upset with Christian Laettner that time. So much for that easy teaching.
Well, Christian's a veteran, and he can take that a little bit more. But I like Christian's energy. At least he's moving without the ball.
Playing very well, and he's been out there the whole time, Danny. He's doing a lot of little things, setting screens. He's playing defense and supporting, and offensively, he's more aggressive.
Alexander with the quick shot, maybe a little early on the shot. Here comes Glover out there with Vaughn, Crawford, Metsola, Theo Ratliff.
You never know where to hit that happy medium. You want Alexander to be aggressive, but maybe not that quick pulling the trigger.
Popeye Jones, who's played with a host of teams, including Dallas and Boston. Washington missed their last 9 of 11 from the field. Lue for 2. And tapped in. That's counted. They're going to put in 2 points. And a foul called on the play. It's on Atlanta. And the foul goes on Metsola.
And right here, the shot goes up, and there's no box out right there. Popeye's got inside position, and Hanno just comes over his back. Great play by Popeye. He's been doing that for years.
Jones hits the free throw. And Washington losing by a couple points at the Garden in their season opening game on Tuesday, leading 31-27 here early in the second quarter. Glover to Ratliff, picked up by Jones. Theo doesn't like big bodies, but he maneuvers well around the body of Jones that time and picks up 2.
Well, that's what I wanted to see. That's one of the things that I asked when we were at practice today. Can he post up? And he can do that. Obviously, that's not something he's used for a lot, but he has the athleticism to do it.
Did you see that fake by Jordan on Glover inside Courtney Alexander? Metsola gathers it in, out to Jacques Vaughn. To Metsola, into Laettner. Oh, what a play by Atlanta. Tyronn Lue takes it the other way. Washington is shooting 40%. The Hawks shooting 48% from the field. Jordan doubled again, puts it down. Michael's got 13.
And Michael's going to have to keep making outside shots, because when he's put it on the floor, he's drawing the attention of everybody.
And that's what Dion Glover does so well. Slash inside.
And no shot blocking out there. Christian was a little late getting down on defense, and Popeye, again, he can't touch the bottom of the rim. No defensive presence on the Washington Wizards. 3 guys going to the ball. Bad transition defense. Christian Laettner just getting late. doesn't get the charge in time. And Theo is becoming a better offensive player, but he's got a mismatch down there. Popeye, no defensive presence.
Timeout.
In it, MJ. Nice move, fadeaway jumper. Missed it. Popeye is there. His short jump looks a beauty.
But Popeye's been such a tremendous plus in these first 2 games. Played some outstanding basketball, very heady basketball.
Ton Thomas is called for the foul. This is the first time we've seen a Ton this year. As you remember, he too was part of the trade for Juwan Howard. The Wizards getting 5 players, but sat out the entire season with a bad toe after he had some surgery. He was a bit tentative in the preseason. He fell on it once, but got up and felt pretty strong. Jordan the rebound. Five of their last 17 attempts. Jordan again all the way. Short jumper, no good. Vaughn. Offensive foul. Tyronn Lue did a nice job to hold his ground.
2-on-1, you've got to make quick decisions. He made the right one, established his spot in front of Jacque Vaughn, and drew the charge.
Yeah, great
Jacque
job.
should have held up, yeah. Jacque too intent on keeping that ball himself and finishing.
Vaughn in his 5th year from Kansas. He guards Lue. MJ in the lane, lost the ball, gets it back and scores. One of the things we've noticed about Michael is his strength. We talked about it the other night. He's been working out his upper body strength, probably as strong as he's been in his career.
But again, that play was one of that anticipation. He knew how the defense was going to react. He knew where the opening was going to be. You saw him cross over and get the layup.
Hanno Metsola scores. He's in his 2nd year with Atlanta. He had just 4 points in 5 minutes against Houston the other night. Michael's fadeaway. He's finding the rhythm now. 17 points for Jordan, but a slam at the other end. Wizards fail to get back.
And that time Jordan was trying to communicate something to Tyronn Lue, and it was Glover that actually got back and got the long pass.
Well, Jordan really feeling it now. Double team to Lue. Alexander for the open jumper. Boy, he has really struggled with his shooting.
After having a very solid training camp in preseason. But again, he's got to continue to shoot those shots. He knows that he can make them. Just relax, look for those opportunities, and put the shot up.
Had just 6 points in 23 minutes. 3 of 8 from the floor against the Knicks Tuesday night. Metsola leaves it off into the corner. Tip up to beauty. Great inside position for Ratliff.
Well, he was able to sneak in there. Tom Thomas didn't do a real good job of putting the body on him.
Game tied. Jordan will take a 3-pointer. Little off. Jordan 8 of 15 from the floor. Has 17 points. Ratliff inside with Thomas on him. Popeye had it knocked out of bounds from behind by Metsola. The Wizards get it back. Jordan's fadeaway, no good, loose ball foul. It's on Washington. It's on Ton Thomas. And a timeout taken with 5:52 to go in the first half, and this game tied at 39.
Tied at 39. They've had an 8 of 12 shooting second quarter.
I expected the Hawks to be far more aggressive than this, because particularly with some of the new additions and some of the new talent they have.
Emmanuel Davis fanning from outside. Jason Terry is back in the game. So is Nazr Mohammed and Abdur Rahim. Whitney for 3 at the other end. Rebound by Abdur Rahim.
Thought he rushed it again. You know, he had a pretty good rhythm in New York, and he just rushed a couple of those shots. But Emmanuel Davis can knock down that three-point shot, and when he does, they're going to get the lead because they're getting a lot of open opportunities.
This is the guy I want to see go to work, because he has so much offensive talent, and he's just playing passively within the context of the offense. An equal opportunity thing with him. He needs to be as aggressive as Michael is.
Popeye Jones has gathered in 7 rebounds tonight. And here's Whitney on top, picked up by Jason Terry. Jordan trying to get free, guarded by Emmanuel Davis. Shot clock at 4. Alexander has to slash and hits it on the fly.
Good play. I like the aggressiveness. The double team came at Michael, no hesitation, went right out to Whitney, swung it quickly to Alexander, and he attacked.
And Alexander said, thank you, I needed that. He really needed that, because he's a much better offensive player than he's showing.
Jones fights Abdur Rahim well, forcing the turnover. Whitney spoon feeds to Tom Thomas.
Beautiful pass.
Wasn't
right there.
that pretty?
And a good catch by Thomas and finish right there. But Popeye's doing a good job. He's using his experience and his toughness, and he is not getting beat by Rahim. He's doing an excellent job.
And remember, he was put in because Jahidi White was in foul trouble in the first couple minutes of the game with 2 quick ones.
And Leitner's just not a good matchup for in defense of Rahim. Rahim's too quick off the dribble.
Popeye's using his hands a little bit, too.
Here goes Mohammed. Shot clock at 2. He's got to throw it up and hits it. He was a nice player last year when there were some injuries on Atlanta and finished the season strong. Michael Jordan working on Glover. Doubled by Davis. Oh, he got it again! Michael Jordan's got 19 points. That equals his total from Tuesday night against the New York Knicks.
And that's what they talk about, you know, why you don't want to double team sometimes, Michael. Here comes the double team, and he's going to get the shot anyway, and you have one less guy on the defensive board. Sees the double team, goes away from it, spins baseline, gets the shot.
Glover picks up the foul. Michael will be at the free throw line. A career 82% free throw shooter. 19 points, as we mentioned before, on Tuesday. He was 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Fanning right there, picked up by Mohammed.
They talk about the Wizards, other players getting open looks, and last year they couldn't get them. Number 23 is the reason why.
Tony Kukoc back in the game for the Atlanta Hawks, and inside, spinning on the block, Abdur Rahim, who has been quiet so far with just 9 points and a Popeye Jones foul.
With just 9 points, he hasn't missed that, so he's only had 1 miss, and he's getting the ball. I think they just need to look for him. He's been posting up aggressively down low. His teammates aren't looking for him enough, and he's been frustrated a few times.
And sometimes you got to make sure they look for you. If you're the star of the team, you can let them know. I just don't think, Danny, he didn't just show signs of anger or aggressiveness. You know, anger isn't always bad out on the court. If he's a star, he's got to act like it.
Well, he's 24. He grew up in nearby Marietta, Georgia. And he remembers those teams of the 80s when the Hawks were perennial 50-game winners and in the playoffs.
Well, Dominic Wilkins, one of the great players of all time, definitely should be in the top 50 of the history of the NBA. I think that's a farce. But Sharif is the most complete offensive player that Atlanta's had since Dominic.
Jahidi White back in the game with a couple fouls. And Michael again working on Davis. Rebound by Nazr Mohammed.
This is what I'd like to see the Hawks do, too. Get out and run some. They look like a team that has athleticism, but they're playing very conservatively.
White with his second rebound for Washington. Here comes Michael Jordan, picked up again by Davis with under 3 to play here in the first half. White, who goes right at Nazr Mohammed and then tried to pass it, and the ball at the underneath portion of the backboard. Jason Terry flies the other way by newly instated Richard Hamilton.
Well, and first of all, Jahidi made a terrible decision because he went under the basket. Maybe he should have handed it off to the cutter. I think it was Whitney. But then the transition defense was terrible, and that's one of the things that Collins has been talking about he's afraid of.
Kukoc watching Hamilton through a screen, and now on the wing. Richard Hamilton. White had it. Abdur Rahim gathers it in. Nice pass into Kukoc. Touch pass back out to Emmanuel Davis.
And they've kept him out of the transition, but those are just two terrible plays. Jahidi dropped the ball, made a bad turnover. They've got it. Any shot is better than a turnover.
The Atlanta.
Great pass to a wide open White.
Again, the presence of Jordan makes those things happen. He drew two players, Ratliff and Sharif. They both leaned out with him and left Jahidi wide open.
Good help by Chris Whitney, and they force an Atlanta turnover.
And that's what they're trying to do, is put a lot of pressure on the perimeter. Not allow this team to get inside. Watch these two players come together, and there you see them just split the defense. They come out at Jordan, Jahidi wide open.
Doug Collins looking at Michael saying same thing. Michael, fade away. No call, no shot. Abdur-Rahim brings it up. Jock Vaughn pulls up on Whitney and throws up an air ball. That's just the third Atlanta turnover this quarter. Game tied at 47. Here's the double team. Nice play. Hamilton, who came in the back door.
You've got to make yourself accessible. When they start double teaming, you've got to find that opening and receive the pass. Jordan's going to find you and get you the ball.
Kukoc's long jumper is good. 3-point field goal for Tony Kukoc. He played on the title teams in Chicago in 96, 97, and 98. Jumper no good.
They want to get a quick shot off 2 for 1.
8-second violation.
How about that? That's the first one we've seen this season, and it happened so quickly.
No pressure, but they just failed to push the ball up quickly.
For years, the key number on the 24-second clock for the officials was 14. That's when they knew it was a 10-second had elapsed. Now that number 16, and the Wizards on the inbound turn the ball over. Got a foul to give. You can hear the coaches yelling. Chris Whitney understands that fact. Terry takes the jumper. Three-pointer. The Atlanta Hawks come back with a flurry, taking advantage of Wizards' missed shots and miscues. And after Washington had a 9-point lead in the first half, the Hawks come back to grab it 53-49 as Michael Jordan has 19 points in the half.
We're talking during the halftime, you and I were about Abdur-Rahim, and you think he's almost too nice.
Well, he's using the wrong pronouns. Your shooter needs to say I. The coaches say us, we. He's got to get out there and become far more aggressive because he is a very good offensive ball player. Other players have to feed off of him.
Right now, he takes it inside, selfishly against Leitner, and a whistle after the miss. And a shove inside and a foul called on Dion Glover. That's his second. Now out there with Glover is Manuel Davis, Theo Ratliff, Abdur-Rahim, and Jason Terry. The Wizards begin the second half with Michael Jordan, Jahidi White, Rip Hamilton, Christian Leitner, and Chris Whitney at the point.
Well, that Michael was just giving Jahidi a coaching lesson on, hey, catch the ball, would you? Catch the ball. You say that can't be taught, Coach.
Michael's will find out that two things you have difficulty teaching people. A guy who cannot shoot, it's hard to teach him how. A guy who does not have good hands, it's hard to teach good hands.
Here's Chris Whitney, who feeds to Hamilton, and back to Whitney, who looks so good against the Knicks. And Michael Jordan sinks his first second-half shot. He's got 21 in 21 minutes.
That's good ball movement right there. The ball just kept moving. Michael obviously not hesitating, feeling good, but he's getting a lot of shots up there. Not a lot of touches for the rest of the team right now.
Terry guarded by Michael Jordan. Tap by Jahidi White. Inside, Ratliff tries to reel it in, and does, and fights, and slams.
Can't happen. That kind of thing cannot happen. You can't let him get that many touches, and particularly when the defense has the inside. Atlanta is not a big physical team. They're a elusive, quick team. You got to touch body.
Hamilton with an air ball. White up high and brings it in. And a foul. Count the 2. It's on Ratliff.
You watch Michael play cat and mouse right here. He's just using the screen. Jahidi's such a big body, but Michael's just hiding, waiting, knew the ball was coming up there. That's the value of Jahidi White, that wide body.
No, you're exactly right, and that's what he's getting paid for. He's got to set screens, he's got to rebound, he's got to defend. Offensively, he's got to pick and roll to the basket and get follow-up baskets, and then he's extremely valuable.
He's been a part-time starter for the last couple years. Hamilton takes it inside and puts it down.
Great job right there. Christian Laettner, very patient, did a good job of using his body to seal. Another nice play by Christian on the offensive rebound off the missed free throw.
Minute and a half gone here in the third quarter. Kevin Harlan with John Thompson and Danny Ainge and Craig Sager here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. It's Emmanuel Davis who shoots from outside virtually every time. Hamilton the other way into Glover and pulls up with the rebound by Abdur Rahim. He now has 8 rebounds with his 11 points tonight.
The tempo of the game sort of surprises me with both of these teams. Neither of the teams have a strong inside presence offensively, but neither of the teams really distinguish themselves in fast break and getting easy baskets.
Glover inside, snuck into Laettner, and gets the reverse with 8 points.
A nice pass by Theo. The double team came back off of the cutter. You really don't want to leave a cutter under the basket. Laettner just didn't get there to cover up in time, and he's not a shot blocker anyway.
Ratliff and Laettner collide after Davis had fallen, and Jordan thought he could exploit the void inside in the Atlanta defense, and a foul for the first time is assessed Michael Jordan.
Well, they're trying to front Michael. I like that. You know, I wish Washington would do a little bit of that on the other end, making it more difficult to get the ball to the post. You might get some turnovers, believe it or not, if you front the post.
Points in the paint, identical.
Michael's not even playing Glover. He's going back in the middle.
Glover with the spin, and the shot may have been altered by White, who came in there and applied some defense. And out of bounds it goes.
Well, and he did get a fingertip on it, and that's his job. When he does that, even though he has that large body size, he's very quick getting off his feet, and he's extremely agile.
He's had a history, Jahidi White has, had a history of Achilles problems. Here's Michael over Davis with the rebound gathered in by Terry. And he'll dribble with Jordan, and now Whitney on him. And a 17-footer is pure.
And that's when they've gotten going, when they're able to get some long rebounds and get some steals and get in the open court. That's Jason Terry's best part of his game. He's a high-energy player, not a great half-court player, very good in the open court.
Well, and that's one of the reasons, Danny, why I'm surprised that they're not getting out and running. I'm very surprised even at the Wizards. Maybe it's the time of year that everybody's trying to get their offenses in.
Chris Whitney for 3 from outside. They needed that. And now the Wizards down by a point.
You know, if you're talking to both coaches, though, they just don't, he doesn't have, neither one, Lon Kruger or Doug Collins, think that their team is great decision makers in the open court, and they want to be opportunistic without forcing tempo.
Glover with a 3. Here comes Michael Jordan with Davis tailing. And a nice scoop pass over to Hamilton, who converts at the other end. The Wizards are shooting 44%, the Hawks 47%. Hamilton with 13 points.
Michael encouraged him after he shot that. Now, can you imagine Michael Jordan? Here's a guy that Hamilton has grown up idolizing, posters in his house. He hits a jumper, and Michael smacks him on the head and says, "Way to go, guy."
A pretty nice story. It really is, the way that Michael is melted into this very young roster. Foul was just called on Hamilton.
Well, that's the additional burden Michael has on him, because not only is he playing for himself, he's encouraging and instructing and playing for other people.
Shot clock at 5. Ratliff facing White. The drive. And a foul called inside on Washington. Jordan now 38. Danny, you played until you were 36, and you had a chance in the Garden on Tuesday to talk extensively with Michael Jordan as Laettner just picked up the second personal foul. How do you find Jordan playing at this age, at this stage of his life and career with this kind of team?
Well, he believes that this team has a losing mentality, kind of like the Clippers of the West, the East Coast have been. They haven't known how to win. They're not professional. There's just been a lot of poison that has seeped into the franchise. He believes with Kwame Brown, Brendan Haywood, that he should come in, Rick Hamilton, come in and teach them how to do it. Play 40 minutes, score 40 points one night, show up for practice the next day, get in the weight room, work on your game, teaching them how to be professionals.
Leo Ratliff was an all-star last year for the Eastern Conference, and he hits his 7th point tonight and ties the game at 60. We've had numerous ties. Wizards have led by as many as 9, Hawks by as many as 4. Here comes Whitney. Jordan to Whitney, who just nailed a 3. Pretty good Atlanta defense, and he squeezes inside and finds 2 on a leaner.
Well, Whitney is starting to do a little bit of what he did against the Knicks. He's now showing the confidence to initiate some offense, and he seems to have offensive ability.
Whitney's got 7 points on a 3 of 5 night. From the field, Dion Glover, who played at Georgia Tech, rebound by White. Quick trigger to Hamilton.
And they're using Dion Glover to be the post feeder. Michael's sagging off Dion Glover. He's having a difficult time getting the ball to their best post player. They've got to use more of a shooter to get the ball into Raheem.
Whitney with the miss. White tried to get up there and slap it in. Picked up by Abdur Rahim. And the other way comes Emmanuel Davis, who has played in Europe and in Italy, and Laettner with a nice steal.
And that's not Emmanuel's game. He tried to do a little bit too much in transition. That's what we're talking about. There's an opportunity in transition. Lon Kruger's saying, you know, terrible decision. Let's just make something easy. Explore. If you got the shots, take them. But trying to do a little bit too much.
They tried for the alley-oop to Michael Jordan. After tried a couple times on that pass tonight, it is just not flushed. Davis for 3. Short, clanks off, out of bounds. It will go back to Washington. Chris Whitney has 7, as we said.
Well, right here, Whitney comes in. He gets the double team, sees it. Terry thinks the double team is still there. Whitney does a good little pivot, finds the easy shot. That's a tough shot to make, that little leaner.
Very tough shot to make. But you know, Danny, I love Whitney's confidence. His confidence level seems to be definitely going up.
Hamilton looking for White. Mismatch on Glover. Tries to exploit it. And he spun and traveled.
See, I'd have rather seen Jahadi go out, set that screen for Hamilton, let Hamilton go to the basket, and then he rolls to the basket.
He plays with such passion. He plays with such emotion. And tonight it is shown. Michael Jordan has put in 21. The Wizards up by 2 here in
18,445, but tonight's attendance, 20,072. A new Phillips Arena record crowd for a sporting event. But what a crowd they had at the Georgia Dome when Michael played in his last season in 1998. 62,046 for Jordan's final appearance at the time in Atlanta.
I gotta believe that some of those people really didn't see the game.
You're right.
But they were there.
Most of them had a better view of the moon. Whitney, nice job to bother Raheem. Here comes a cutter. Kukoc with 3 seconds to shoot. Fires. No good. Jahidi White. Collins screaming from the bench. Pick it up.
Boy, is possession important or what?
Oh, Doug is intense, and you like that. Laettner, Hamilton, White, Jordan, and Whitney for the guys in blue. Chris thought about it, now fires. That's off the mark. Terry runs, spinning, lays it off underneath. Great play to Raheem. That's partially blocked, but the follow is good by Nazr Mohammed.
Again, most of their offense, talking about the Hawks, generated from transition, pushing the ball up and before they have to set their offense.
11th tie of the game, Jahidi in low. Short jump hook, can't get it to fall. Kukoc screaming for the ball. Instead, it's fired in by Terry, and the Hawks have the lead back by 2. Jordan has been quiet. Now he fires. Nothing but net.
The can't relax one moment. It seemed like Sharif just relaxed, dropped off him. Jordan felt that space in between.
23 points for Jordan. Nice job by Whitney. And he throws it off a Hawk out about super play just to get over there.
But that's going to be so important. These guards have to help out with rebound. We talked about the lack of rebounding strength for Washington. Everybody's got to take responsibility for rebounding basketball. Here you see a long rebound, and you're right. Whitney hustling over from his man, the shooter, Vaughn, to get that rebound and then throw it off one of the other Hawks.
Popeye Jones and Tyrone Nesby back in the game for Washington. Jordan gets a break. Whitney off a screen. Tough shot, and he hit it.
Good two-man game over there.
9 points for Chris Whitney, who averaged 9.5 and 4 assists last season in 59 games. Short jumper's a beauty. Abdur Rahim scores. 13 points in the game for Sharif. Whistle blows the play dead. And Tony Kukoc whistled for a foul. His first personal. Kukoc in his 9th year from Split, Croatia. Whitney, wide open jumper, a little short. Popeye goes up and manages to get the rebound. Fires to Nesby. Whitney again. This one's set and good. 3-point field goal for C. Witt.
Have you ever seen him just practice his shooting, and sometimes he'll just work on his shot, his stroke?
You know, I used to love to watch you shoot, Phil, because you had that pure jumper. His is
got good form.
Just beautiful form. Great rotation on the ball. Abdur Rahim, Leitner, big rebound.
Good pressure from Popeye Jones. Again, you don't have to block the shot to defend the shooter. Just make it difficult. Make them feel that pressure on the defensive side.
3-point lead. Hamilton into the lane, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Chris Whitney with 10.
An athlete, he almost looks that way with some of the things he's doing out there. Tony Kukoc is another guy who I think is an underachiever offensively. He has too many offensive skills to just pass the ball around as if it's an equal opportunity experience.
Look at Jason Terry wheel the length of the floor and just smoke Christian Laettner.
I love his energy. You know, he's a guy that you really like to watch play, and you wish that the rest of the team would pick up on some of that enthusiasm.
Laettner travels. Laettner has only taken 5 shots tonight. He has 4 points and just turned it over right there.
Laettner's trying to get Whitney on him, but Laettner actually gets in the way and screens Whitney. He doesn't ever have a chance to get to him.
Abdur Rahim for Atlanta with 15 points in the game.
Well, and he's aggressively trying to get this. He goes to the basket. I think he misses his shot, but he pursues and goes back up again. He's trying to get put back. That's the thing. He can go outside. He can go inside. He can get his off the rebound. He can get it off of the break. But when Craig Sager interviewed him, he's talking about us. He needs to be talking about I a lot more. Us is a word that coaches use.
Laettner is out. Popeye Jones along with Etan Thomas. Tyrone Nesby in there. Hamilton remains, as does Whitney. And his shot outside by Nazi Muhammad doesn't go. But it finally does drop with 10 points.
Nazi Muhammad's done a nice job tonight. Just a blue-collar guy out there getting everything done, but he's made some very nice post-up moves. Maybe he's been their most effective post-up player outside of Rahim.
Nesby working on the baseline, the former Los Angeles Clipper who made 22 starts a season ago for this Washington Wizards team.
Man, that was nice. You can see the Wizards gaining confidence, and if they do, and Michael's playing the way he's playing, they can be a factor.
Jason Terry looks good. He's got 19 points and almost made it 21 with that spinning shot right there.
You know, you say Kukoc isn't achieving, and I totally agree with you, Coach. He looks lost out there. He's not really been a factor offensively in this game or in the first game or in the entire exhibition season. We talk about his injury, but the guy last year when he was having so many triple doubles and so much success, he was playing more of the point and the point forward, handling the ball all the time. Now he's more of a spacer.
Well, and that's one of the things, you know, you get these big guys, 6'11", 6'10", everybody talks about how they can do everything. You don't need them to do everything. Do what you can do to help your team. They want to pass the ball. They want to get out and dribble the ball like little bitty guards. You need this man to score on this team right now.
Right, but that's what he's done so well over his career. When he was in Croatia, that was where the best part of his game was playing the point guard.
And he's had foot injuries and back injuries. In fact, he wore a walking cast a good part of the off-season. As Hamilton now has 7 in the quarter, 16 in the game. Final 16 seconds of this third quarter with Jason Terry, who has looked good here in the third. Guarded by Whitney. Jordan on the bench. And a shove and a foul. And Whitney picks up his second personal foul.
They had one to give. That's a good play by Whitney.
6.4 left here in the third quarter. Wizards have led by as many as 9. Hawks by as many as 4. Right now it's the Wizards by 2. Terry for the lead at the end of 3. Won't go. Nesby reels it in. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Jason Terry with a wonderful display. He's in his third year out of Arizona. An all-star a season ago with 19 points. At the end of 3, the Wizards on top by 2, 74-72.
Crawford pounded by Tyrone Nesby. Now the 2 former Chicago Bulls go at it. Inside, Nazr Mohammed knocked away by Etan Thomas and a foul call. They'll give him 2 shots.
Oh boy, it's so difficult to stop any player in the middle there when they get the ball that close to the basket without fouling. So you've got to play that kind of defense before he receives the basketball.
Nazr coming to this team in the 2-team trade with Philly back on February 21st. Actually picked by Utah, and then they traded his draft rights to the Sixers back in June of '98.
He, like Glover, though, came on pretty strong at the end of the year. Had some pretty good games.
And we are tied once again. The 15th time in the game that the score's been tied. Jordan operating, trying to get around 2 players. They force him out high. Michael lays it off to Nesby. He'll take the open jumper. Misses. Kukoc goes all the way, got fouled as he went up, and Jack Nees spotted it.
Boy, Jordan really wanted to get that steal. Saw that pass coming across to Kukoc, almost got a piece of it, but that took him out of position. And Kukoc comes back, but you see him expose the ball. He brings it back right almost in front of Jordan. Jordan gets a piece of it, but also a piece of Tony.
Jordan and Jack Nees exchanging pleasantries. I think it's got to be fun for the officials, too, just to have Michael back in the league.
He missed them both.
Big break for the Wizards. We're still tied at 74. Jordan baseline, goes all the way. Reverse layup, the beauty! Shades of Michael of old.
Still showing you some of that hang time.
You thought he didn't have the ups. He's got the ups and the hang time. Ball underneath. Fought for. Wizards can't find it. Terry picks it up. Misses. Follow no good. Slapped away by Metala. Fires again. Can't get it. Ball on the floor and Whitney recovers it. Man. Nesby will take the jumper. Misses. Etan Thomas is there and he gets hammered.
Good offensive rebound. One of few that they've had tonight. And that's because they really lacked its size, and that's why they're giving up some of those rebounds that we saw at the other end. But here, Baton works his way inside. Nobody puts a body on him. Goes up strong. He has 2 free throws coming.
Jack Nees, after someone had signaled timeout, says, hang on a minute, let's come back out and play basketball. So Etan Thomas will go to the line to shoot 2. Boy, we talked about Richard Hamilton, who was born on Valentine's Day. Etan Thomas will be 24 on April Fool's Day. I know what day that is. All fools do.
Wait a minute now. My oldest daughter is on the first, so she doesn't like that.
I resemble that remark. Thomas misses the first. Richard Hamilton comes back into the Wizards lineup and replaces Chris Whitney. Thomas was the 12th pick overall in the 2000 draft. Courtney Alexander is a 13th pick, and Etan misses both free throws. And the Wizards hang on to a 2-point lead. Terry off a screen, works free, Mekla inside, he travels.
Washington trying to get a slightly bigger lineup in there. And Hamilton's going to have to guard Jason Terry, who's been very effective tonight with 19 points.
Jordan fouled by Crawford. Shot will not count. But there's a sign of his quickness that he still has, Phil.
Well, again, he's in that situation where they're putting somebody a little bit stronger on him because he does have that upper body strength, but he's just not quick enough.
Basket did not count. Wizards ball on the side. Metala comes out of the game. Sharif Abdur-Rahim is back in. Gordon, top of the key, fadeaway jumper, in and out. Ball on the floor, picked up by Hamilton, goes inside and misses. Kukoc for 3. How do you like that? Hawks by 1. Now Jordan springs free. They let him go ISO on the right side. Passes it underneath to Popeye. Gets the jumper at the buzzer.
He did an amazing feat just getting that ball. It was not a well-thrown pass, and he was able to bring it in, and he knew he didn't have much time to release the shot before the shot clock went off.
Wizards by 1. They lead Sharif open. He misses the jumper, and Popeye collects it. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Regulation. Hamilton off the screen. Yeah. Got it. That's his shot.
Coming off that pick, catching it, and releasing. Good timing between he and Jordan.
22nd timeout taken by Lon Kruger. The Wizards have managed a 3-point lead now. And we'll take a break with 7:47 to go here in regulation. Washington looking for their first win of the season, leading by 3.
All right, Craig, Michael Jordan tonight has played a little over 33 minutes. He got a screen from Thomas.
And I agree with Danny about Popeye. Popeye's putting in the night's work, Danny, out here.
He is. He's doing a great job on Raheem. And he just does a little bit of everything. Plus, he just knows how to play.
Michael Jordan now with 27 points. Hawks have hit 1 field goal the last 5 minutes and 45 seconds. It's Theo Ratliff back in the game. Grinding inside against Etan Thomas and hits.
That's a tough shot right there. Pretty good defense by Thomas, but still, they just allow that post catch so easy, and they put the defense at such a disadvantage.
Absolutely. It's entirely too easy, and I think Etan is better than that. He's got to challenge him a lot more aggressively, particularly at this stage of the game.
Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager. You're in Atlanta. A foul called on Theo Ratliff.
Right here, Crawford's doing a pretty good job of keeping Michael right there, contesting with his little leg, but Michael just kind of shoots it a foot higher than he normally would do. That's a tough shot and good defense by Crawford.
Good shot, too, by our cameraman, David Husney, here in Atlanta. This has really been an event tonight. And you almost think more of a game and more of an event than it was at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday. Jordan leaning in a little bit high. Crawford may have altered the shot. Nesby gathers it. Shot clock at 3. And a miss. Rebound by Abdur Rahim.
And another good job by Crawford right there, making Michael shoot the tough one right there. The fans behind me are yelling, why they got Crawford on him? And I think he's doing a better job than anybody has tonight.
Well, and that's why those guys are fans. Crawford is very aggressive, and at least if he cannot guard Michael, he definitely is not afraid to challenge him.
And Jason Terry is not afraid to challenge, too. He's got 21 points in 33 minutes. Atlanta leads in rebounding now. They are +7 in that category for the game.
You know, I think the one thing that Atlanta has right now is they just have a good defense again by Crawford. But Washington looks a little bit more fatigued. Michael's starting to get a little tired. Popeye's definitely tired for all the battling that he's doing underneath. And Atlanta looks fresher.
Crawford is guarded in the most out of that group and has done the best job.
The last 2 possessions, he's done a perfect job. Michael not even draw any rim.
Wizards lead by 1. Shoot. Popeye Jones finds Jordan. And fading away, missed it all. Picked up by Hamilton. 1 second to shoot. Rejected inside by Ratliff.
I think that's the first block shot by Theo tonight.
And he had 6 against Houston on Tuesday in Texas.
If they even count that, the shot clock might have gone off.
I don't think they will.
But, you know, again, Michael lost control of the ball and was forced to shoot with the shot clock. But the size and athleticism of Crawford forced him to be the basket to get a little dark.
How do you come up with this stuff? 5.5 to play here in the 4th quarter. Abdur Rahim rejected by Etan Thomas, then persevered inside and got his 2.
Well, Etan made a great play, but like most young players, he relaxed after one effort. He needed to go back and recover from the play that he had made. I also think that Michael needs a screen about now. He doesn't need to just be using energy to try to beat this man one-on-one. But how about Popeye?
He's got 9, John, so far. Under 5 to play. Wizards and Hawks both looking for their first win of the season.
And we see whenever Michael starts getting a little bit tired and not having great success, he goes out to the point guard and becomes the passer.
The quick double forces the pass. Crawford thrown away. Caught by Michael Jordan.
Body's tight, but his mind is not. On the weak side, he just slipped in there and stole that pass.
He tries to shave his way inside, and a foul call.
And this is the play that I was talking about. Etan goes up. He comes over from the weak side. Popeye lays a body on him. Etan comes over and makes a real good play. He more than anybody should have known where that ball was, recovers and goes back and gets it, but he relaxes after the first effort. That's just a question of experience.
Chris Crawford just picked up his 3rd personal foul. Rip Hamilton fires and nails it in. And now the Wizards on top. 86-83. Hamilton's got 20, and that's what they need. More scoring than just Michael Jordan and Hamilton supplying it tonight.
And they needed a good screen, Kevin.
Yes, and they got that as well.
Everybody's got to come in and help with the boards. This is a much bigger team. They're going to crash the offensive glass. Washington has to hold their home on the defensive end.
Atlanta is over the limit. Jordan will go to the line to shoot 1 plus the penalty. Michael, a career 84% free throw shooter. Fans, the Sports Boosters of Maryland annual headliners banquet benefiting children's charities is coming up. The banquet being held at Martin's West on November 7th. Special guests include Frank Robinson, Reggie Jackson, Brooks Robinson, Boog Powell, Ray Lewis, and others. There'll also be a silent and live auction. Tickets $75. Please call 410-561-0065 or 1-800-561-9099.
Well, that time I think they got Popeye Jones with the foul. He's doing a good job of staying real close to Sharif, trying to deny the ball. That time he picked up a foul. That's his third.
29 points for Michael Jordan. Terry streaking, drawing contact, no call. Hamilton the rebound, big play. Wizards by 5. Got to get it over the timeline. Hamilton does, nearly carried. 3:34 to go in regulation. Big possession for the Wizards. Jordan inside, lays it off Thomas, and he's called for traveling.
Just didn't have his timing together as he made the move towards the basket. Right move, he just caught it off step, Steve.
Did you see Doug Collins clapping, saying it's okay, it's okay?
Yeah.
Trying to give that youngster encouragement.
As he caught it, he just kind of shuffled his feet to get his momentum going to the basket.
Terry against Whitney. Now they go down low. Ratliff, jump hook, beauty. For Ratliff. 3-point lead. Whitney, nice move going into the lane. Lays it off. Thomas, the slam. Give the assist to Chris Whitney.
Good setup. Again, they swung the ball away from Jordan. The defense didn't react quick enough, and you saw the penetration of Whitney and the assist.
4 points for Etan Thomas. Thomas battling with Ratliff. They call a foul on Thomas. Got a little too physical with the left arm.
Well, two things he's trying to defend against. He's trying to defend against the lob, but he's also trying to deny the entry pass. So now he picks up his 4th foul, but he's gonna pick it up. Let's take a look at something positive from Etan. The assist from Whitney. He makes a strong move to the basket and gets the dunk.
4 assists for Chris Whitney in the game. Huge miss for Theo Ratliff. He was 2 for 3 the other night in Houston. Spent 3.5 years in Philly.
And securing this rebound is going to be important for Washington. They're making sure they have all the lanes covered. Whitney's going to come in and get in front of Ratliff after he releases his shot.
Makes 1 of 2. Here comes pressure. Wizards will have 8 seconds. A steal. Bad pass by Popeye, and the Hawks steal it away. And Thomas has just picked up another foul. That's 5 on Etan Thomas.
And Chris Crawford actually is 5 on 4, and Etan trying to hold his position.
Ratliff missed the final 33 games of the season, 5 of them with Philly, 28 here in Atlanta. And wrist, come back healthy. His team much improved. He misses them both. Gigantic. Collins wants time. Jordan calls it. We'll keep it right here with 2:24 to go. This is the situation that Doug Collins preached when he came to Washington that the Wizards want to be in. They want to be in a situation down the stretch to be in games so that they have a chance to win it, whether it be with Jordan or whomever, but they want to give themselves a chance to win it. Remember, so many times in years past, Phil, the Wizards have let leads slip away in the 4th quarter and not even put themselves in a position to win games.
Well, that's right. And they found themselves in the same position against New York. And we talked about the problems there, but this is a new day. You've got to come with some confidence and come out and be very alert and execute whatever they're talking about doing defensively as well as offensively, because defensively, I mean, like we said, they're so important. You got to get these rebounds. You got to stop the attempts in terms of transition and make them work as hard as they possibly have to on the offensive side.
Final 2:15 in regulation. Michael Jordan picked up by Crawford, doubled by Terry. Outside, wide open, Whitney for three. And a rebound by Thomas again on the offensive glass. Goes inside. Ratliff knocked it away. But again, it's vacuumed in by the Wizards. 2 minutes to play in a fresh 24.
Well, and Thomas did his job that time. He went to the board. He wasn't able to put it back. But that's what they need him for.
Look at Jordan driving inside. Michael Jordan can't get it to go. Thomas almost grabbed it. Here comes Terry. A foot race with Hamilton. To the trailing Crawford. Outside, Kukoc for three. Rebound by Etan Thomas, who has been brilliant coming off the bench.
Playing with a lot of energy out there. You know, he's got to make better decisions when he gets the ball back. Make sure he doesn't use his clock rather than trying to force the ball inside over Theo.
But one of the things that he has to do, he's doing, and that's get the ball. A lot of big guys, again, I want to say, try to do too much. Rebound the ball, defend, and get out there and do your job.
Hamilton over Kukoc. Rebound by Ratliff. Theo now with 4 rebounds tonight. That's the timeout story remaining. We're approaching 60 seconds to play in regulation with Washington leading by 4. Jordan has scored 29. Abdul Rahim, who has had a horrible night from the field, picked up by Chris Whitney.
He got a good shot, but again, you got to give Popeye some credit. Popeye knows he wants to go to that jump hook and did an excellent job of making him shoot over a body and was very strong down underneath, making him stay away from the rim.
With 29 points in the game, 11 in the first, 8 in the second, 4 in the third, and 6 here in the fourth. Both teams 0-1 on the season. Whitney takes the inbound with 50 seconds to play. Trying to get Jordan free. They get him the ball, baseline to Whitney. Long jumper, got it! Huge three-pointer for Chris Whitney. Collins imploring his team to play defense. Jordan nearly knocked the ball away from Terry. Terry, hounded by Jordan. Abdul Rahim for 3, missed it. Chased down by Hamilton, and the Wizards are looking good. Whitney fouled, and I think it may be a flagrant. Let's see. And very close to a technical coming up.
Jason Terry as he scored. Atlanta is over.
Well, they go right back to the same play, knowing that they're going to double team Jordan. This time, Whitney puts it down, a big three-pointer. And then they have to come back on defense, force Sharif to take an outside shot, a three-pointer that he's not real comfortable taking.
Oh, man. Whitney, the best free throw shooter on the team, last year missed just 12 all season. Has missed a couple here tonight. It's 1 of 2. It was a flagrant 1 called, Phil. So the Wizards get the ball back. Very important with 21 seconds, but with an 8-point lead, it looks like they might have this one.
Yeah, on defense.
Here's a look at what you were just talking about, Phil. Michael hounding Jason Terry.
And this is the second stint of hounding him. You see him almost lose the ball. This is where he picks him up. He's all over him. And you see him get low in a low position. He's not going to let him get away. And Terry almost loses the ball. Now so much time has gone by. Good defensive job and presence by not only Jordan, but the other team, the other members of the team to cover up.
Chris Whitney with another big game, Phil. 16 points. He's hit 3 of 5 three-pointers tonight. He made 4 of 6 the other night against the Knicks. Last year, he set his career high with 6 of them.
Important about a shooter, and that is he just missed that three-pointer, and he was open. But you can't let that bother you. You know you're going to get an opportunity again. Keep your head in it, and look to put that shot, that next shot that you have down. Forget about the one that you missed. Good job, Chris.
Many of the fans filing out of Phillips Arena. Better than 20,000 here tonight for Michael Jordan's return. The only Washington appearance here this season. They'll play twice more, both games at MCI Center. Jordan fouled by Crawford, so Michael will have a chance to get 30, perhaps 30 plus. So the last time Michael Jordan came back, he scored 19 points against Indiana. And the next night he scored, or the next game, I should say, he scored 28.
28?
Yep. Correction, 27 points.
What did I say?
I'm not sure. But he had 27. And then Doug Collins with a nice pat on the chest of Etan Thomas. For all intents and purposes, a rookie this year, even though he sat out all last season with the toe. And Jordan, a chance to make it 31. So he scores 19 his first game, 31 his second. Not too shabby.
Not too bad, right? In a winning cause.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan, MJJ, has brought the FUN back to basketball in Washington. Boy, are we in for quite a season this year.
And you know, good job.
Jordan gets a standing ovation from what is left of these 20,000 fans in Atlanta. Hamilton knocks down the free throw. 21 points for Rip. Wizards at home Saturday night, the home opener against the Sixers. Then in Detroit and in Boston. Crawford, short jumper, no. Tip up, and will it count? It will not. The Washington Wizards win their first game of the season and even their record at 1-1. And Michael Jordan with a tremendous night. 11 in the first, 8 in the second, 4 in the third, and 8 in the fourth. Jordan finishes with 31 points in his return.
And we just didn't execute. I think we had a little short stretch there in the second quarter, but I think overall, the second half we played pretty consistent.
Did you expect to feel this good in the second game of the year? 31 points.
Hey, my rhythm is coming. I still didn't shoot the ball particularly well like I wanted to, but I got some good rhythm. I made some tough shots. I even dunked the ball again. So I mean, my rhythm's coming. And it's a long season.
You said you want to teach, train, and tutor this team. Obviously, the Jordanaires played very well tonight. What are your expectations of your teammates in this team?
Just to get better. Understand the facets of the game. These are young kids who probably never been coached really thoroughly for the NBA. All we want to do is make sure that they continue to improve each and every day, and in the mix of that, we want to continue to win.
Great job. Congratulations. Good luck in your home opener.
All right.
Kevin?
All right, Craig, thank you very much. 31 points from Michael Jordan. Washington gets their first win. They get it by 10. The smiles on the face tell the whole story for not only Jordan, the Wizards, but the entire NBA. He is back, and in a big way. And now for John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager, our producer Mike Burks, our director Lonnie Dale, and our statistician Pat McGrath.